don't know if it'll be that different. I mean, still 16-team league. You know, I don't know. Or like, I gotta look at the draft package. Is there a lot of talent that signed up this season? Like, does anyone care about LCP anymore? Just joking, CRC, don't have fans. Now you guys are really, really sensitive.
Step one is to be good at Tag Pro. I mean, in general, like, I think well, I guess with the exception of season 8, where I had a pretty shitty minors draft. In general, I mean, I basically drafted Stalin's minors teams, or at least like had a large part in it, even though it wasn't like exclusively me, of course. For like, what was it, 2-3 seasons in a row, and then this will be my third minors draft of my own. So I think that, and basically all those teams have been like pretty successful, with the exception of the season 8 team. And so I think that I'm pretty good at drafting for minors in general. So like as long as you're like good at Tag Pro, you've played in a league or like played really, really well in pubs before, like like Garage Orp and Cannonball did, which resulted in me drafting them last season near the end of the draft. Like I don't know. I hope that I don't have gaps in my minors player knowledge. So like if you play in leagues, win games, get decent stats at least, and then I don't know, come to tryouts maybe if that's your shtick, and to fill out my activity check, because I send my little like interest form activity check thing to like every single player who I think could potentially be minors quality or majors quality. So like I don't know, I use that, I value that a lot. So if you fill that out and you are like decent at Tag Pro, at least by my perception, then I will probably look at drafting you. That's pretty much all there is to it. I mean, I think that there are a few. I mean, I don't want to call anyone out in particular, but I still think I might, just because I mean, there was obviously a lot of skill on our team, and we, like your all caps team was also like very, very skilled. So I mean, we played a very, very close game, so could have gone either way. And I definitely think that, like, given how much parity there was in the East, like us or all caps or lag prone all very easily could have gone to the Super Bowl, and like all of our playoff series splits. So I'm not like, it's difficult to say like, I would have done this thing differently, because I think that even with the way the season went, we still had a very, very solid shot to make it to the Super Bowl. Things just didn't tip our way in that Transilio game in particular. But there were, I don't know, the thing that we didn't benefit from very much was that there were some really toxic personalities on our team. That was the one thing that I don't think I predicted correctly going into the season. I mean, I knew, like, even before the draft, like, I wanted my offense to be swinging and BDL, and people somehow let that happen because no one wanted to draft swinging, and that offense was really, really good all season. And like the defense, like, Slide unexpectedly did really well, especially in the first half of the season when he was able to play a lot more, and Mr. Gunn was solid all season. So like I think the team was good, but the one thing that I did not predict correctly was like how toxic certain members of our team would be. Really just like Swinging in particular. Like even after the season was over, he went and talked mad shit about me to people, and talked about how like terrible of a captain I was. And that just kind of reflects very well on his like personality, I guess, and the effect he had on the team. He was probably our best player of the season. Like I'm not gonna rag on his skill. He played fantastically the entire season. But in terms of like the effect that he has on just like team morale and like our team's willingness to like scrim together and play together, it was real bad, and that was one of the things that I think hurt us down the stretch. So once we started losing, like it just like that effect just got magnified. We were able to deal with it when we were winning, but not down the stretch.
Yeah, obviously I can understand that, being that type of personality myself.
If you really wanted to be drafted, come out and try to, put out some effort and try to reach out to us and and explain, your case about why, motivation is a big thing for me, and being able to, put yourself out there and show that you're willing to put a lot of work into the season. So if there's a good chance that if you're a random player that we wouldn't notice you, so make yourself noticed. I think it's definitely a strange pick. It was kind of funny when he announced it, because at least when I read it, I kind of thought it was a joke, because Wasatch has been away for so long, and he hasn't played in the league for at least a couple seasons, I think. And the game gets significantly better every season. The teams overall get significantly better every season, and it's pretty easy to atrophy. We've seen a lot of old players try to come back, and they just didn't have what it took. So I definitely don't think it's the most thrilling of picks. But then again, Raven had one of the most dominant teams this season.
At first, I didn't think it was a very strong pick, because I figured that after taking a season off, Wasatch was probably going to go into the draft a little bit undervalued. But after looking through the signups this season, I think that he would be one of the top 5 O players going into a draft where a lot of the captains are defensive players, and his value in the draft could actually be surprisingly high. So I think it turned out to be an okay pick. I think that in Season 7, my team might have advanced further. It's hard to tell, because on the day of the game, Ghost Boosters outplayed us. But I'm uncertain how much of that was Wormy or if it was our play more. So it's hard to tell how we would have done on it. Season 8, I don't think we would have advanced very far. We were kind of a team held together by a lot of duct tape, and it wouldn't have been enough to advance us all the way. Okay, I think defense has a bit more impact on the game right now, so that's part of the reason why I signed up as defense last season, and part of the reason why I think I have a slight preference towards playing defense this season. But I've also said that depending on how the draft goes, I'm more than willing to play either position to do whatever is best for the team.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about the options that Legman gives our team, because we've been talking about it. We can really go into the draft and have a kind of wider amount of players that we're looking at, because we don't really necessarily have to be going one way or the other. So I think we're gonna probably make that call based on the first couple rounds of the draft, and then kind of build the draft around that. But it gives us a lot of flexibility, so it's really nice, evaluating talent from this perspective.
Yeah, definitely. I would say that that's a leg up that you have. Pun intended.
Oh shit!
Oh my god.
I would say that that's a leg up that you have on most other captains besides maybe I'm High, who also I think has that flexibility.